Guys, what's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday, October 17th. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Hope everyone's winding down nice and well for the evening here. What's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing good. So we got ourselves some new updates here on the tropics. So we got some good news. The good news is that we've been monitoring this storm here. This is 94L. We've been monitoring this guy for the last couple of days. It looks like it's really dropped a lot of support. So that's, first of all, very, very great news. But then we got another system we're watching now. Now, we'll get more into this here in a minute, but this one could be pretty interesting. We'll get into that here in a few moments. But what's up, everybody? Let's see who we got here today. We got ourselves Peachy. We have Von Teal. We have Misty. Hopefully I said your name right. I'm not good with name pronunciation. What's up, RO Scale? Hope you're doing good. What's up, Isaac, Raka, Misty. Let's see here, Kathy, Emily, Roadster Jim. What's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing good. Like I said, once again, good evening to y'all. So yeah, like I mentioned, this guy, 94L, which previously had a 60% chance of overall development, now is down to 20% chance. It looks like, as we've kind of been monitoring that storm, that's what I was telling you guys in the begin with, how it's kind of a difficult system to forecast. It looks like that the storm itself just, it's... Like I said, it just really doesn't have it in it to do anything. Now, regardless, it is going to be bringing ourselves a bit of rainfall for some of these areas here. Let's actually take a look at the satellite imagery. We'll go ahead and pull it up for you guys real quickly. So you can see that there is still that circulation going on out there, but there's just very limited convection. There's not a whole lot of thunderstorm activity associated with the storm here. The storm right now is just located just to the east of the Virgin Islands, or just northeast of the Leeward Islands. So, like I mentioned, honestly, it's not looking so good. Let's take a look at the water vapor here. Like I said, we are obviously having that dry air factor, which, yeah, there you go. You can actually see that big band there of, kind of that grayish, dark gray color there. That's representing that there is some dry air around the storm. There's a little bit of moisture ahead of it. We got a little bit of storm activity on it, like I said, but honestly, it's very dry still. And the storm's really not... not really doing so good. So that's good news. We're going to hop over here to the spaghetti models. Once again, like I said, we've lost a lot of support with this system here, which is fantastic. Definitely glad to see that. A lot of the spaghetti models have just simply dropped support of it. We are expecting that low to still continue to go to the north of the Virgin Islands here over the next 12 hours or so. Same thing just north of Puerto Rico. It's going to be squeezing kind of past just north of the Dominican Republic and Haiti. And, could go between eastern Cuba and western Haiti. That is a possibility. Some of the models have been talking about that for a little bit. That's where the central low potentially could go, according to these models here. Once again, it really did just lose a lot of its model support. which is, once again, very, very good. We're going to take a look at the intensity chart. Now, so the models, there is still a handful of model runs that shows the storm here potentially, still becoming a tropical storm. That is a possibility. The median of the models there still has, the system possibly in tropical storm status. Matter of fact, actually a few of them even showing maybe low in Category 1. At this point in time, it seems like that is a little bit more unlikely overall, due to the fact, like I said, we've lost a lot of support here for the system. Let's see here. Did I see the supermoon today? I did not, but I saw the full moon yesterday. It was pretty crazy. Let's see here. You want to see the comet? I did not. I've been trying to find it, but I can't really find it over here, unfortunately. Yeah, go west. It was. It really was. It was actually really cool. Really beautiful full moon out there yesterday. But yeah, so once again, I mean, there's still a little bit of support on that system, maybe becoming, a tropical storm or a tropical depression here. Let's go ahead and hop our way over here to the models individually. We're going to talk about this. Remember, this is 94L. We got another system to look at after this too. But let's hop over here to the Western Atlantic. Now, this is the 18 Zulu GFS. This is the brand new GFS run here. So we work our way down in time, and you can see, well, first of all, there's the other system that we're going to be talking about here in a minute, which, like I mentioned, could be pretty interesting. We'll have to see how that plays out. If you guys want to follow along in time, it's in the top right there if you guys wanted to look out there for that. But anyway, so we work our way down further in time here, and you really don't see much happening out of that system. The GFS just kind of lost all traction on that system that we were monitoring there, which is really good news. It's still going to be bringing a bit of rain to the region, regardless. That was kind of expected. There's going to be some thunderstorms throughout the region from this system, but honestly, like we mentioned before, this storm right here is probably not going to do anything like anything concerning or anything like that. So just, a little bit of rain out there, nothing too big. Euro ECMWF here. You can see it squeezing by, but it, like I said, barely even anything at all. I mean, you could barely even make it out on the models there. So we've definitely lost a lot of support for that, which is, once again, absolutely good news. So it no longer seems like an issue, once again, due to a lot of dry air. It just really could never recover from all that all that dry air we've been experiencing for days. So yeah, I mean, Icon, Euro, GFS, really not picking up on it. We have HWRF, which was, as you guys may or may not know, this is arguably one of the most intense models on 94L. Really doesn't have this thing doing anything, honestly. You can see it's not really grabbing a hold of the storm there. On the Zero Zulu run from basically this morning, like really early this morning, or late yesterday, basically showed that the storm here would just be a bunch of scattered thunderstorms, which, like I mentioned, that's likely what this thing just ultimately just going to be at this point in time. It's just a bunch of scattered thunderstorms. So that's that. You're going to get some thunderstorms out there along some of the islands and, just typical tropical activity. So that's good. So once again, it seems unlikely that this storm here is going to be doing anything overall. So that is good. But let's go ahead and hop our way over here to the other storm here. Like I mentioned, we have 90. I think this is 95L now. I think we finally have a. Let's see. Yep, 95L. This is that system that's going to be coming right towards. Yeah. Now this one has better potential of becoming something. This one actually goes out there towards the Yucatan Peninsula. We'll take a look over here back towards my main program here. So this is the other area that we're watching. This one is a medium chance of overall formation here, in which, throughout the next 48 hours, next 2 days, we have a 40% chance of development overall of this thing potentially becoming a depression or a potential storm. And throughout the next 7 days, we have ourselves a 40% chance as well. So overall, this thing has good potential of forming here relatively soon. The Hurricane Center talking about satellite imagery shows a broad area of low pressure over the Western Caribbean Sea is gradually becoming better defined. Nearby buoy observations indicate surface pressures are falling. Associated with shower and thunderstorm activity has increased since yesterday, and environmental conditions appear conducive, meaning available, for for some additional development over the next couple days. Look at this. A short-lived tropical depression or storm could form before the system moves inland over the, how do you say that? Belize? In the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico on Saturday. Regardless of development, locally heavy rainfall is likely across portions of Central America and southern Mexico through the weekend. So that is per NHC quote. And of course, like I said, throughout the next 48 hours, next 2 days, we have a 40% chance of this thing becoming a depression or a storm. So still, on the lower spectrum, but I think this one has a better shot than what 94L does. Once again, I'm very thankful that 94L has dropped a lot of support. Like we mentioned before, at one point this storm here did have like a 60% chance overall formation. And like I said, that dry air just kind of beat it up. It really didn't allow for that storm to really materialize. That's why I was telling you guys, in the last couple of days when we've been tracking this, we just need to monitor it. And once it rolls into the forecasted more moisture, see what it does and see how it handles. And like I said, it's not doing very well. it's really not doing very well. So, that's definitely good news that that storm out there is not really expecting to do much. It's probably the last time we're going to talk about it. But, 95L out here. Once again, this is the Yucatan Peninsula right here. Here's Cuba, just some landmarks you guys can kind of look at. Down here's Panama. So, that's where that system is located here. Let's go and take a look at the satellite imagery on it. It does look a lot better than 94L, I will tell you that. Right now, it's still just a bunch of thunderstorms. Literally just a bunch of thunderstorms going on out there. It's kind of hard to determine on where that central low is located, but it's somewhere in here, I believe. You can kind of see right there those lower level clouds scraping on by just under those convective towers. There you can see that the movement's to the southwest, indicating that counterclockwise circulation out there. But there is a pretty good amount of convection on its eastern side right now. So a lot of thunderstorm activity. I mean, this storm's already doing better than what 94L is currently doing. So this one's going to need to be watched, for the next day or so. We're kind of running out of time for this thing to really develop into anything, really anything big. But, it needs to be watched. We'll definitely be watching it out there. If we hop over here to the main part, let's go 95L. And we'll take a look at the spaghetti models. So yeah, you can see the spaghetti models still a little bit in disagreement mode, as you can tell. We still do have a fairly decent sized gap. So the models are still a little iffy on where the thing, is going to be tracking over. But here's the thing. Okay, and then like I mentioned, there's something about this storm that could be a little interesting. It's not entirely known right now, but it's possible that this storm here could possibly redevelop in the Eastern Pacific. There's a couple models that have been kind of supporting that. Just depends, honestly. It depends how fast it's moving inland, how far south it goes. Because if we can get more of the geography with less land, that would give it a better chance of redeveloping somewhere in the Eastern Pacific. Meanwhile, if it kind of digs further into land, the chances of that happening is much lower because these mountain ranges out here are just brutal for those storms and really kind of just shred it apart. But yeah, so there's your spaghetti models. Once again, this thing's gonna be making landfall out there just towards like the bottom part here of the southeastern part of the Yucatan Peninsula is kind of where that is expecting to make landfall. Here's the intensity guidance on it. So, a good grasp of the models, matter of fact, actually show this thing being a tropical storm. Matter of fact, you can see about at least 80% of the models suggest this thing getting up into tropical storm conditions. There's, like I said, you can see where it hits land, and then some of the models, as you can tell, start to pick back up as this thing, once again, potentially could redevelop into the Eastern Pacific. So that little bit of a down part that you see there, that's where once it hits land, basically throughout the next 1.5, 2 days or so, it'll maybe be making that landfall. That's why it dips down, because we lose the strength for the storm going over land, but then it picks back up here, maybe a little bit once it tracks back into the eastern, or tracks into the Eastern Pacific. So that'll be something interesting to watch. And once again, it just determines on the path it takes. The more south it goes, the more it's going to be, or the less it's going to be over land, which that would give it a better chance of, kind of remaining more intact and stuff like that. Let's see here. Yeah, then you got the one weird model, the HWFI, which I believe is the HWRF. It just has that thing spiraling, skyrocketing. Let's take a look at it though. Let's go to 95L. We're gonna pull up our main scene here for you guys. If y'all want to follow along in the time, it's in the top right. So this is the storm. So we work our way down in time. Once again, this is HWRF model. This storm, according to this model here, it does show that low possibly getting down into the mid 990s. Maybe upper level 990s. Now that would be that could be tropical storm status, based off pressure. Obviously, you can't fully go off of pressure alone. There is a lot of things. A lot of things that people don't understand is the fact that pressure is only so good up to a certain point. So if you have a bigger system with the same amount of pressure as you do a smaller system, that smaller system is going to be stronger because it's more compact and those isobars are more tightly together. Hopefully that makes sense. So basically, the bigger the storm you have, with the same pressure as say a smaller storm would, the bigger storm would be have a bigger wind field, but the winds would be weaker. Rather than a smaller storm with a more compact wind field would be much more stronger. So that's why I always say you can't always really go off of the pressure alone for that. Overall, let's take a look here at the 10-meter winds here. So this is basically near ground level winds. So according to the HWRF, those winds aren't anything super concerning. We have about 35 knots possibly. That is like tropical storm sustained right there, by the way. So that is a good possibility that some of these coastlines potentially could be dealing with tropical storm conditions. We'll just have to continue monitoring that. Once again, this is one model though, by the way, too. HWRF has this thing kind of weakening a bit as we track our way over Mexico, southern Mexico. But look at this. So according to the HWRF here, this is where things start to pick up a little bit. Now remember, this model here has always been kind of the model to overestimate things sometimes. So keep that in mind. But you can see though that according to the HWRF, this thing might redevelop once it crosses over Mexico and all that. So. We'll see. We'll definitely see. Once again, I mean, Mexico's terrain is not very friendly for tropical cyclones. We have all those mountains out there, which is just not good for tropical systems. These mountain ranges really disturb that lower level wind field and kind of just allow the storm here to kind of get shredded, per se. But, it's... I'll give it to HWRF. It is a possibility. I think it could be a possibility out there. Moisture with the storm, unlike 94L, the one that we were watching up there towards the Caribbean, it kind of just fizzled. Unlike that one, this one actually has a fair amount of moisture with it. There's a pretty good amount of moisture with the storm here, and it will continue to remain that way for a while. Towards the end of the HWRF run, the humidity does lower a bit on the western side. I don't know. That's pretty far out though, but we'll get to that whenever the time comes. But, but that's something that we're gonna need to look out for. That's HWRF. Let's go to HMON here, 95L. So this model has it making quote unquote landfall in the lower 1,000 millibar range, which goes over Mexico, rapidly kind of weakens. Oh yeah, well, maybe it's trying. Hold on a minute. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, at this point in time here, there still is a pretty fair amount of convection. Like I mentioned, yeah, we're just going to have to watch it and see. I did notice that there is another area of tropical development chance up here. You can see above me. This is actually from the Hurricane Center. I don't know if this is associated with that. Let's see here. Area of low pressure is expected to form during the middle part of next week. So, what's today? Today's Thursday. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the storm here. Offshore of southwestern Mexico. Therefore, thereafter, gradual development is possible. The system as it moves westward 10 to 15 miles an hour. So, that's got an overall 30% chance. So, that's actually the system. This is 95L here. So it's going to hit the Yucatan, the southeastern part of the Yucatan. Potential tropical storm, maybe depression, still kind of unknown here. Regardless, throwing off a lot of storms and a lot of precipitation out there, but then kind of goes through Mexico. That kind of just kind of has a problem as it rolls over those mountains there, and that lower level wind field gets very much disturbed. But you know what? Yeah, I mean it's certainly something to watch. It very well could redevelop. So that's HMON. Let's look at HAFSA here. Let's go to this model. HAFSA. Okay, so shows that pressure getting down into the upper 990s range. Potential depression status. Okay, then it comes off the coast here. Oh, it's kind of weird. It's kind of a weird run. But, you can actually see, though, that thunderstorm activity goes back into the eastern Pacific. So that's how tropical systems typically, how they form. They start off with, just a bunch of thunderstorms. And given conditions out there in the eastern Pacific, waters are definitely warm enough out there. And, according to all the models we've looked at, there's still going to be a fair good amount of moisture in the atmosphere. So that's, a good breeding ground for tropical cyclones, which we'll just have to see how well this thing remains intact, once it comes off. But the way models are talking, it seems like it could have a chance. It could have a chance. We'll have to see. Let's pull up HFSB model here. Take a look at 95L. Okay, so HFSB has this pressure down in the upper 990s as well. Whoa, that's weird. What is it doing? Yeah, I don't think this model knows what it wants to do here. I think it's just kind of... Okay, that's interesting. Maybe HAFSB parent would be a better one to look at because it's more broad. Oh yeah, there you go. HAFSB really shows that better. It's just that camera didn't know where to point there. Yeah, but you can see, look at that. So according to the HFSB, you can see it's spinning back up. There is a fair amount of dry air to the south, to the north, but the storm is going to remain in some fairly good, fairly good amounts of moisture out there. So HFSB parent, HFSA parent here. It's kind of hard to tell. That camera's showing it's a little bit of a different area, but yeah, there it is right there. So there is support of it, absolutely. Let's see. Check HRRR in New Mexico. You might want to be live on that day. What are you talking about? What is it? I don't know what's going on here. Let's pull up 0 Zulu. I'm assuming that's what you want me to look at. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Oh, first of all, let's make this so where you guys can see it a little better. Yeah, it looks like we got a low. Some form of low pressure system could spark off some good storms here. Let's see if is that pulled up on the other models too. Let's see. Yeah, it shows up on NAM. Let's look at that lower level jet there. I was gonna say, when you get a system like that, that could be some tornadic concern. We do got a jet out there. Does it have much instability to it? Yeah, fair amount. Yeah, well, we could get a pretty decent system up in New Mexico. Actually, matter of fact, my mom's up in New Mexico right now, so very interesting. Yeah, look at that big trough there, big short wave. Yeah, I mean, certainly is something to look out for. Yeah, dew points are in the upper mid 50s, which is normal for this area. Yeah, no, you're right. That seems like it could be something to look out for. Did the SPC talk about it? Here, let's go full screen here. Actually, here we go. Actually, I have a scene specifically for SPC here. Okay. So when was this? So this is for like tomorrow, right? Starting tomorrow. Got a marginal out there. Got a 2% tour. Oh, okay. We got a triple threat here. Hail, damaging winds, and tornado potential. Relatively low end right now, per SPC. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. The good news is, though, is that there's not a whole lot of population out here. Let's see. This is just out of Albuquerque, though. Just shy to the east of Albuquerque, which is like one of the main populated centers in New Mexico. Yeah, like I said, that's the good news, though, is that, a lot of this territory here is a fairly low population per land area. So, what's up, Christy and Chris? Hope you're doing good. See your tornado risk. Yeah. If that holds up like that, then yeah, that very well could be a potential tornadic event out there in New Mexico. So we'll see. We'll see. Isaac said, I think this is my 10th stream of his in a row. I haven't missed. Well, I appreciate it. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. I mean, once again, we'll just if it becomes something that needs to be streamed, we'll stream it. But once again, like I said, it's relatively a fairly unpopulated area, thankfully. Let's see, Brent. I can do that for you real quickly. Let's see. You're up in Louisiana. I don't think we got much going on up in Louisiana right now. Yeah, y'all like that cold air we just had? It's pretty brutal. Dude, it got down to 50, I think 54 out here in Florida yesterday. I'm in central Florida. It was something we're not really used to down here too much. It was a little cold. But yeah, I don't think we really got anything going on up into Louisiana or anything like that. We got that big dome of high pressure still prevailing up in the eastern country. Got to keep things mostly dry for people. Mostly pretty cold too. I mean, tomorrow morning. Here, let's take a look at that. Let's do HRRR. Oh, why am I looking under hurricane models? I don't. There we go. 0 Zulu. Perfect. Yep, so tonight, gonna be another cold one. So yeah, tomorrow morning, this is 8 a.m. tomorrow, Eastern, so 7 Central. We're gonna be up there into the lower 40s across the Midwest, maybe even up into the upper 30s throughout portions of the Tennessee and Ohio Valley out there. Mid-Atlantic, around maybe lower 40s. Southeast could be ranging very much, potential upper 30s, lower 40s. Definitely that fall weather for sure. The Northeast here tomorrow morning. Make sure you bring your coats out, and just to be good to have. It's gonna get a little chilly out there, but yeah, 30s as well, man. Wow. Okay, then the next night rolls on through. This is the morning of the 19th, still another day of 40s and 30s, and at least it's in the 60s down here towards me, which, yeah, I didn't like it getting down that cold. Like I said, I've been here for many years at this point, and it's like during the winter times, I probably couldn't handle what I grew up with. It'd take a lot of adjusting. Let's see here. How cold is Western New York will be? Because there's a frost advisory for tonight. So, HRRR shows Western New York possibly up into the kind of upper 30s, lower 40s. How dry are we? Pretty dry. That high pressure system is actually bringing in a lot of cool and dry air from Canada. And due to the fact that it's dry, it allows it to be much cooler. Let's see here. Does this not have... We got dew point. We don't really have humidity on this model, or on this site here for the model. Tell you what, though. Relative humidity here. Yeah, humidity's pretty low up in some of the spots out there. Towards like the Midwest. Oh, probably need to switch that for you guys. Yeah, it could be in like the 20s and 30s. My friend Quentin, is his name. He lives out in St. Louis. He has a weather station, and he said that today the humidity was like in the 30% range. It's pretty freaking dry. Once again, all that high pressure out there, the big ridge that we got going on, a lot of dry and cooler air coming through. So it's fairly dry for a lot of people. Dry and relatively cold, cold as well. Let's see. I heard we have the probability of fire weather. Yeah, actually. Let's look at that real quickly. I think we do gotta. Here's the advisories or warnings, watches, and advisories here. Honestly, not a whole lot out there right now. We got some red flag warnings up in California though. Got some freeze warnings for some of those upper elevations out there towards the Appalachian Mountains, and it's all kind of colorful out there in the west area. Winter storm warning. What? For Utah, apparently we got a winter storm warning. Here, let's investigate that. What's all that about? Okay, so we're gonna bring up the HRRR again. Models. And let's bring up our precip type here. Okay. Certainly a little bit of snowfall in those upper elevations there. Oh, wow. No, I see it. Goodness, man. Yeah, that's quite a snow producer. Let's see how I'm gonna pull up like GFS here. I'm gonna roughly look and see how much snowfall is expected, accumulation wise, and I wonder if by the time we approach tomorrow, if that'll be visible on satellite or after it falls. See, GFS shows. Wow, actually. Some upper elevations, maybe up near a foot or so. What about Euro? Oh yeah, Euro doesn't show it on here, unfortunately. Anyways, well there you go. So my folks up in Utah, some of those upper elevations, we're going to be seeing some winter storm conditions out there. There's a lot of burnt barns in Indiana. Was there a lot of fires out there? Like I said, there's been a lot of dry air. From this Arctic wave coming up from Canada, and yeah, it's not only been cooling things down, but it's also been fairly dry air too, which has allowed for potential fires to have been going on. At nighttime, humidity increases, lowers the risk. I know we've been kind of having like a little bit of a windstorm going up there towards the plains, due to a pretty steep pressure gradient. We got an area of low pressure out there by like Montana, and we got that high pressure ridge out here towards the eastern country. So there's like really tight isobars over here, which is allowing for those winds to really be picking up. So the pressure rapidly changes in this area. Let's see here, 10-meter wind speeds. Yeah, there you go. That's exactly what I was talking about. See those isobars? Yeah, like they're very, very tight together. Let's do HRRR here. Yeah, there you go. Get that to load here for a second. Here in Illinois, we're expecting a severe drought and... Oh, wow. Nice. That's not really good. Yeah, no, a lot of the places in the eastern country are not going to see much rain for a little bit. Yeah, I mean, some of these sustained winds could get up to like 20, 25 knots or so. And then determining on the humidity out here too. that could allow for some wildfire conditions. Except I don't see any way to look at that. I can look at dew point. Whoa, negative 420 Fahrenheit. Yeah, dew points are low, very low. Court says Olive Carnival Cast says hi. Told me you're live. What's up, y'all? Yeah, that dew point temp is really low, dude. Really low. Yeah, so there's going to be some wildfire conditions out there because of that dry air and due to that, those winds out there a bit. So we're going to have to look out for that. Let me pull up SPC, see if they have anything up on wildfire, which I would assume that they do. Critical. Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah, that's right in the spot where we have that tight pressure gradient, where those isobars are very close together. Critical fire threat for like northern Kansas, central eastern Nebraska, western Iowa. And the day 2 outlook here. Oh, really nothing for Friday. Let's see. So most of that was for today. We have a little bit of fire threat out there. That's why I got those red flag warnings up in California. Let's see here. Missy says Joplin, Missouri is under extreme drought. I do have a drought monitor I can pull up to look at that. Let's see here. Go ahead and full screen that too. Sorry, my screen looks so squished. It really does. Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about down there in southwestern Missouri. Oh yeah, yeah, we got an extreme drought out in some of those regions, and you got like St. Louis, who's just none. It's crazy how much it how much it changes over a short distance. You know, it's like southwestern Missouri hasn't seen as much precipitation as like eastern, kind of southeastern Missouri. It's crazy just how quickly it just pops up like that. What's up, Legacy? Hope you're doing good. I have a question, Andrew. Do I think that November we'll see severe weather for Illinois? I doubt it. I mean, you never know. You never know. Just depends. I think a lot of the South is going to be in a kind of a severe weather concern. Just depends on what part of Illinois, I guess. But, even them being specific, it's kind of a little hard to tell. Let's see, Alaska going crazy now. Blizzard warning for 2 to 4 inches of snow. Oh, that's a lot of snow. I'm sorry. 2 to 4 inches of snow ain't nothing. Yeah, it's the winds. Yeah, the winds does that. Nearly 60 miles an hour. Wow. It's actually, I don't think, yeah, that's the problem. Fortunately, these programs don't really cover Alaska too well. But I do know a workaround here. Let's see if I can find it. Wherever Alaska's at. Oh, there it is. Duh. Ooh. Is that the system here for like the 21st? Nah, they wouldn't have warnings out for that, would they? Right now, blizzard warnings? I think that would be a bigger concern. Must be this little guy right here. But that's more of Canada. Let me pull up NAM. I don't think HRRR goes out here. No. Definitely not. Let's do NAM 12K. Maybe that'll pull up Alaska. Nope, doesn't support it. Yeah, unfortunately, Alaska doesn't have too much support of the models or anything like that. Pigeon Forge, Tennessee saw 2 to 4 inches. Oh, really? When was that? Isn't that like upper elevations? It's got to be, right? Man. Goodness. Court says, have a good night. Head back out. You too, Court. How's Michigan looking? Well, not a whole lot of anything. Like I said, we still have that high pressure prevailing in the east. the big ridge, the big dome of high pressure, kind of preventing precip from really happening out there in the east. It's going to be fairly dry for us the next several days up in the eastern U.S. The west, on the other hand, is going to be getting a little bit of precipitation. Like I said, we have a little bit of a winter storm going on up there towards like Utah and such. We looked at it a minute ago. But no, for Michigan though, yeah, not really much of anything going on. But anyways, folks, all right, y'all. Well, we're probably gonna head off here. Just wanted to talk about those tropical systems out there. Once again, that 95L, this thing could redevelop in the Eastern Pacific. Hurricane Center already has something out for that. It'll probably make landfall as maybe a depression, maybe a weak tropical storm. We'll have to see how that plays out. 40-40 chance some development, so 40% chance of development in the next 2 days. 94L, which is another one we got over here. 94L here. Let's go actually up over this. Yeah, like I said, we've lost a lot of support for the storm here. It's been kind of struggling with dry air. We've been monitoring this for the last couple days. It was once at a 60% chance per NHC, but they definitely dropped it, and I do see why. It's just not holding up very well. So that's good. What's up, Richard? Saying, what's up, Andrew? I'm here to ask one question. Do I think Florida can handle another big storm this year? Take care, my friend. I know you're in the heart of it all. Appreciate it. Well, as you know, hurricane season's not over yet. I don't know do I think Florida can handle, or do I think Florida will see? Those are two different questions. Do I think Florida can handle it? I mean, Florida is tough. They've been through so much hurricane related. We would get through it, absolutely. It wouldn't be good, of course. Now, do I think there'll be another one? Obviously, there's really no way of telling that Florida, if it's out for good this season now. But I will say we still have roughly about a month and a half of hurricane season. So there could be some more activity regarding the tropics. Obviously, we can't tell you exactly where because we don't know where the next storms are going to form. Trust me, if we knew where the next storms were going to happen, we would tell you immediately. That way you'd have a long time to prepare for it. But, the range of tropical systems and, knowing if they're going to be a problem is about 5 days or so. About 5 days or so of preparedness. What's up, James? How do I feel? I feel okay. I mean, I'm still a little sick. Been coming down with something. So not the best, but I guess I'm doing all right. What about sea surface temperatures? Well, obviously you may or may not know, there's more that comes to it than just sea surface temperatures. But based off of those, yeah, it's certainly warm enough for more development. We're still upwards 28, 29 Celsius. The waters did cool down a bit from Helene and Milton combined. Which would still support tropical activity, but like I mentioned, there's other things to take into consideration as too. Moisture, of course, wind shear too. If you have too much winds in the upper atmosphere, just in the atmosphere, that's not a part of the storm itself, that will allow for that storm to kind of crumble. And of course, you need an initiation source, so basically just a group of thunderstorms and, to start that low and then everything like that. But right now, there's no current threat, and I know there's been a lot of misinformation that people have been doing for clicks. I've been talking about this. There's a lot of people who's wondering if Florida is under any concern right now. Answer to that is no. Nowhere in the U.S. right now, the U.S. coast at all, is under any form of tropical concern at the moment. We still have the season to go through. Once again, like I mentioned, we still have about a month and a half of hurricane season left, so there still is time for more storms to happen, of course. But at this moment now, we're not tracking any storms that's coming for the U.S. That's not going to be any problem for us. Once again, there's a lot of people out there just, hypothetical forecasting, making it seem like it's, Florida's under danger. I've had a lot of people tell me, is there really a concern for Florida right now? Because there's a lot of people who's just making these stupid videos saying that there's another storm heading for Florida when there's not. So that's that. But all right, everybody. Well, we're gonna roll off here for now. Once again, thank you for joining. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, don't forget to leave a like, hit that subscribe button. Be I can't even talk. Most certainly appreciated. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And we'll catch you guys up for tomorrow. Another update. Like I said, nothing really super crazy going on right now. Once again, we just got the 94L out here. It's probably not going to do anything, to be honest with you. Just some rain. And of course, we have 95L, which could turn into a possible tropical storm. We'll have to monitor it, and we'll continue monitoring it for possible redevelopment in the eastern Pacific. And then, of course, we have that the big dome of high pressure in the eastern country, going to keep things dry for the next couple days. Still, a bit of cool air coming down, so it's going to be pretty chilly in the morning. So make sure if you're in the central eastern country, make sure before you go to work and everything, you grab a coat because you're going to need it. The west. A little bit of winter weather up there towards like Utah overall. Maybe some severe weather up there towards New Mexico that we're watching, potential tornadic activity. And that's about all that's really going on right now. Alrighty. Alright, everybody. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful rest of your night. Hope to catch you guys in another update here for tomorrow. Once again, if you haven't already, consider subscribing, leaving a like. Greatly appreciated. And alright, everybody. Thanks for joining. See ya in the next one. Peace out, my friends. Catch you then.